Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about um, Texas.
Okay.
All right, so I have a question. I'm going to give you this paper right here, okay? And here, I'll give you that pen. And I'm going to ask you a question. What pictures or symbols make you do you think about when you hear the word Texas? So
Um,
wait. I want you to just write them down real quick and then we'll talk about them, okay? So what pictures or symbols do you think about when you hear the word Texas? Okay, so what's that first one you got there?
and the United States of America,
The United States of America? It looks like you drew something else. What did you draw?
the Texas
You drew
flag.
the Texas flag. So when you hear the word Texas, it makes you think about the Texas flag. Okay. I feel like that's a good one. Anything else?
Um, the American Revolution,
Okay, interesting. The American Revolution. Why the American Revolution?
because it was a part of um, it was a part of
Is it about like them getting their freedom and stuff?
yeah,
And that kind of makes you think about Texas?
yeah.
Okay, interesting. I like where your head's at. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to talk about before we get really into it, I want to talk about some different vocabulary words, okay? So, do you know what the word symbol means?
It's like a an object or an emoji to show what you're like um saying.
Okay, so yeah, that's almost what I have right here. A mark or character used to represent an object. So, can you, like an emoji is a symbol, right? So, whenever someone is saying that they're happy, they may send a little
Happy
like,
emoji.
right. So, that would be like a symbol of them being happy. Cool. I like it. What about a landmark?
A landmark can be like a so Spain can be a landmark, and its range can be a landmark.
So, a landmark, what I have here, let's see, an object or feature of a landscape or a town that is easily seen or recognized from a distance. So, a landmark maybe is something that people use probably a lot in like when they're giving directions, maybe. Like if I was going to give you directions to my house and I would say, you're going to drive straight down the road and you're going to see a pink building. Turn at the pink building. The pink building would be a landmark, right? So in this instance, we're talking about landmarks and stuff too that are in Texas. So it can be for directions or it can be something that represents
Like the Abraham Lincoln
yeah, exactly. So the Abraham Lincoln Memorial, that's a landmark, right? The big where he's sitting in the big chair. Perfect. Okay. Now we have the word independence. Independence. It says
it
the go ahead.
it can be like a the Declaration of Independence is like a fight for independence, and independence means freedom.
Yeah. It means the fact or state of being independent, right? So in the Declaration of Independence, that was them declaring their freedom, right? That was them
Mhm.
saying that we want to be independent. We want to be free. And then our next word we have is patriotism. We've kind of talked about that a little bit. I know I've mentioned it before in class, right? Patriotism. So that's the quality of being patriotic, devotion to, and vigorous support of one's country.
Like in the in like some songs there can be like some patriot songs
So yeah, there
about
are
our country.
yeah, there's some songs that talk about like that are patriotic songs that support your country. Like what's one of the biggest songs? It's up there on the can you read
The
that?
Star Spangled Banner.
The Star Spangled Banner. That's a patriotic song, right? That's for can someone be a patriot for a different country that like they live in? Like if I lived in Germany and I was from Germany, can I be a patriot in Germany? Yeah, because I can show devotion and support for Germany, for my country there, right? So it's not just something that happens in the United States, but it's when you have support and you're patriotic and devotion and stuff in any country that you live in. Good. Good, good, good. So that's going to help. Those words, we'll leave them right here, okay? That's going to help us for the rest of the lesson. So let's see. This is a picture of what is this?
The Texas flag.
Texas flag, right? Unfortunately, I don't have color on this, but we do have the flag right there, right? So we can use this flag for the colors. What do you think that the colors and the star mean on that Texas flag? Do you know?
Um, it's the one star
Mm-hmm.
is called the Lone Star, and I think what it means is that it's a part of the 50 states.
Okay. So you think that the Lone Star, it's called the Lone Star, and you think that means that it's about the 50 states. What about the other colors? We have red and blue and white. What about those?
I don't really know.
You don't know? That's fine if you don't know. So let's talk about that a little bit. So like you said, the star it's called the Lone Star, right? So, and that is actually how we got our name, how they call Texas the Lone Star State is from us having that one star right there on the flag. And that star represents Texas independence and that period of time that Texas was a republic. So for a while, Texas was on its own and we weren't part of the United States or any other country. So that represents kind of when we were solo, right? When we were alone. So the Lone Star comes and that gave us the nickname Lone Star State. So then we have the red on the bottom right here. So the red is for courage and bravery, like courage and bravery for the people that have fought in the Texas Revolution and fought for Texas independence. And then we have our
White.
the white. So the white represents purity and liberty. So that's the purity and liberty and stuff, which is liberty means our
our freedom.
yes. Exactly. And then we have our blue, which is around our star, and that stands for loyalty. So, and then the star, like I said, represents the unity of Texas. So there's our Texas flag, right? So now we're going to go over and we're going to talk about a few other Texas symbols and famous Texas landmarks, okay? So the first one, have you ever heard Six Flags Over Texas? So this is the six flags that have flown over Texas. So it represents the six different nations that have ruled over Texas all through the past. So because Texas wasn't always in the United States, right? So we have and right here it shows which ones, all the flags that have flown over Texas. So we have Spain, and that was the first flag. France, Mexico, then the Republic of Texas when we were independent.
And then the United States of America.
And then the United States of America. And Well, I guess actually this one would have been first, the Confederate States of America, and then the United States of America, because Texas is a part of the United States right now, right? So these are all the nations that have ruled over Texas in the past. So at some point, one of these flags flew over Texas. So this symbol is something that reminds people of Texas. The Six Flags over Texas. So we got our Texas flag, our Six Flags over Texas. And now I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to see if you know. Do you know what this is?
The Alamo.
The Alamo. So the Alamo is a symbol in Texas. And this symbol is a symbol of courage and sacrifice during the Texas Revolution. So this was a battle, a very famous battle that was fought during the Texas Revolution, right?
And it was against Texas and Spain.
Nope, it was Texas and Mexico. So this was when that flag right there, that's the Mexico flag. Santa Anna was running the troops at the Alamo. And do you know where the Alamo is?
It can be. I only know one place, and it's
Well, there's only one. There's only one Alamo.
San Angelo.
No.
Or San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio. Have you ever been to the Alamo? You have? Very cool. I've been there a couple times too. So this is a symbol that a lot of Texans, like I said, use as a symbol of courage and sacrifice, because a lot of Texans and other people in the United States laid down their lives to try and help and get Texas their freedom, right? So there we got our Texas flag, Six Flags over Texas, and the Alamo. Okay. This is going to be the last one that we talk about. Have you ever seen this before? This is called the San Jacinto Monument. So this is kind of like how we were talking about how you said that Abraham Lincoln.
The Abraham
Lincoln Memorial. So this is kind of like that. This is the San Jacinto Monument. So this honors the battle where Texas gained its independence. So this was the last battle fought in the Texas Revolution, and this is where we won our independence. So it was built, so it's in Houston, Texas, and it was built in 1939. I don't think this is the exact location of where the battle was, but this is the monument that is used to remember and mark the landmark to mark this battle. Okay? So now we got all of here, I'm going to put this one here. I'll move our vocabulary right here. We have all of our landmarks and our symbols, right, that represent Texas. So what I want you to do now is I'm going to give you this paper here. I'm going to give you this paper, and I would like you to make a mini Texas Pride poster. And I got some crayons right here, and I'm also going to get you a pencil. And excuse me. So what I want you to do is on this poster, I want you to draw your favorite monument or symbol that we talked about today. Okay, so one of these here, either the Six Flags over Texas, the Alamo, the Texas flag, or the San Jacinto Monument. And I want you to add colors and labels. And then I just want you to write 2 to 3 sentences explaining the meaning and why you think it shows Texas pride. Okay? So if you want to start your picture, you can use that pen right there. I'll even put those vocabulary words there if you want to use one of them in your sentences. Oh, that's looking good. Looks pretty good. That's some good details you got.
Thank you.
You done?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's take a look. I see that you chose
The animal.
the Alamo. I think that's a great one. I might have chosen the same thing. I think that that's a really good symbol of Texas. Do you want to go ahead and read me what you wrote?
The reason Texas is our pride is because the Alamo is a landmark to represent the last battle of the Texas Revolution.
So the Alamo's not the last battle, but it does represent one of the battles during the Texas Revolution, right?
Mhm.
The Battle of San Jacinto was actually the last battle. But that's okay. That's okay. We're learning, right? So, but the Alamo does still represent Texas freedom, the courage, and the sacrifice that a lot of people.
Um, did in the Battle of the Alamo.
Because unfortunately, the Battle of the Alamo, we didn't actually win. We lost the Battle of the Alamo. But it was a big turning point in the Texas Revolution because um, it gave Texans some hope, and it gave them the chance to get down to the Battle of San Jacinto. But that's a whole nother thing. So the last little thing that we're going to do then on the back of that, you can write this. We're just going to do a little exit ticket. And I wrote the prompt. I wrote it on the board. So our prompt is one new thing I learned today. So same thing. You can be about 2 to 3 sentences, okay? There's your prompt. One new thing I learned today. A lot of writing, huh?
Mhm.
Okay. So, our prompt over here, one new thing I learned today. I will go first. One new thing I learned today was I did not know that the blue in the Texas flag represented loyalty. I did not know that. I knew about the red and the white, but I did not know about the blue. Yeah. You want to read me what you wrote?
One new thing I learned about today is the Battle of the Alamo gave courage for the Battle of gave courage
Mm-hmm.
courage to Texas for the Battle of
San Jacinto.
Jacinto,
Okay.
and that Texas lost in the Battle of the Alamo.
Okay. Good. I like that. So those were the new things that you learned today. Anything else that just off the top of your head?
Also, I have a fact for
Oh, I love facts. I'd love to hear it.
The United States of the American flag
Mm-hmm.
is the 13 stripes on it. It represents the 13 colonies, and the 50 stars means the United States of America has 50 states.
Okay. So those are symbols that represent things for the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the same things that represent like the star on the Texas flag represents the Lone Star State and how our colors on here represent something. It's the same thing for the American flag, right? So really when you think about it, there are so many things that have symbols and landmarks or things that remind you of Texas or remind you of the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can go and you can spread some of the knowledge that you learned today about some of the symbols and some of the other things that represent Texas, right? Like our Texas flag,
The Battle of the Alamo,
the Battle of the Alamo,
the Battle of
San Jacinto, yep, and the San Jacinto Monument,
and the 6 flags that flew over Texas.
Yep, all the 6 flags that have flown over Texas ever since Texas became like a state, right? Mm-hmm. All right. I think that's it.
Yep.
Yay. Thank you so much, Milo.
You're welcome.